Pardon my axle. I didn't realize he was gonna be this visible. When I put him up, I kind of thought he'd be like, you know, further, but no, he is very much there. So if the camera ever focuses on him instead of me, I don't blame it. What if I could, baby? Oh, that's on. Alright. So before we get started, I need to show you my shirt. Out of this world dad. I got it at a thrift store. I cropped it myself. So that was fun. Anywho, we need to talk about The Sims 4. Listen, I've been playing The Sims 4 since 2018, which is like 5 years of my life. I have like 1,300 hours in it. It's something I care about very deeply, but it's also something that I know is very broken, and could be a lot better. And it's also a lot worse than the games that came before it of the same series. I grew up on The Sims 2, all of the spin-off games. Like, I had The Sims 2 on my Game Boy, I had The Sims 2 on DS, I had Sims Castaway on the Wii and the DS, I played all the My Sims games, I haven't played The Sims 3, funnily enough, have not played The Sims 3, but the franchise itself has been something that's very near and dear to me for basically my whole life, you know, in different ways. And so when I was in college, it only made sense that I finally got into The Sims 4. I think I bought the game when it was on sale for like $5, because before it was free all the time. It was free sometimes, but also on sale like a lot, like 2 or 3 times a year. So that's when I picked it up. I have gotten most of the expansion packs on sale. I barely pay full price for anything. I paid full price for vampires because I love vampires, and I did not want to wait until it was on sale to pick that pack up, because it's something I use in basically every playthrough. Like, I am through and through a supernatural simmer. I love all of the occults. I think some of them could be improved upon, but that is neither here nor there. Anyway, the game has been out since 2014, and it's been almost 10 years since its release, and I feel like there are a lot of things that could be improved upon to make the game just, like, overall a better experience. And I know, like, the Sims team is doing as much as they possibly can, but they can't change the fact that EA is money hungry. That's why we have kits. We'll get there. I want to also say, like, people are like, oh, well, if you don't like the Sims game, then don't buy any of the packs. And I haven't in like a while. I think the last expansion pack I got was Cottage Living. I didn't buy Snowy Escape. I didn't buy My Wedding Stories. I didn't buy High School Years. I haven't paid for anything in The Sims in a very long time. Because I'm unhappy with the game and the way that it is. I bought Werewolves and then regretted it, because as a werewolf lover, I just don't love the way that they were approached in the game. I don't have most of the kits. I have one kit. I will be completely transparent. I hate the kits. I have one. I have the Carnival Streetwear kit. We will get into that more. Anyway, this is going to be a bullet list, just like things that I think would really help make the games better, make the game better, and make playing like a more inclusive experience, because that's kind of what the game is about. So my first point, I think they should bring back stuff packs. Like I just said, I hate kits so much. They are money grabs, especially like the bathroom clutter kit that just came out. Like, it was broken on release. One of the candles is, I think, still broken. One of the modders fixed it. The candle is broken. It doesn't have a flame flickering in it like all of the other candles in the game. The light switches aren't functional. Like, just stuff like that. Like, the models had flat textures, and like the hair ties on the little cabinet thing were like drawn on instead of physical, and that's just simply not acceptable. I understand the people who are like, well, I'm never gonna look at it that close, but it's like it's so obvious even from afar that that's what it is, that it's just like flat, gross texture. So I won't be buying that one, but I think instead of a bathroom clutter kit, they could have done like clutter stuff, you know what I mean? Because we had the other like household clutter kit that's like other stuff, headphones and the hat and, you know, keys and a phone. I might get that one too, I don't know. But it should have been clutter stuff, right? And so you get the household clutter, you get the bathroom clutter that we just got, maybe some more like kitchen clutter, stuff like that, but then also We could have had a couple cute, like, around the house outfits. We could have gotten another house coat, another pair of slippers, some cute crop tops, more sweatpants, more pajama pants, more t-shirts for the guys, like, all sorts of stuff, more sweatpants for the guys, a couple of hairstyles, like, all of that. And then the gameplay could have been Bust the Dust. Like, the broken vacuuming kit, assuming it would actually work, could have been in that kit, and it could have been like a household stuff pack, instead of 3 separate kits for $15. It could have been 1 stuff pack for $10 with more stuff than we got. And I know they don't want to do that because they're making more money with the kits than they would be with a stuff pack, but it's not the amount of content that we used to get, and it seems ridiculous to me that they've done away with the stuff kits altogether. Like I said, I only have 1 kit in my game right now, and it's Carnival streetwear stuff. Kit. It's a kit, it's not a stuff pack. I got it because there are pride swatches on some of the items, which is a whole separate conversation. Like, I don't think the pride stuff should be behind a paywall, especially when we have so little of it in the game to begin with. Because there's the one mesh shirt that has, I know it has a trans pride swatch. I think it has like a rainbow one. And then there's the crop top that has like bi pride, trans pride. I think there's a rainbow one of that too. And there's some pride nails and stuff. And I use those all the time in my gameplay. Like, I do not regret buying that kit, but I don't think the pride stuff should be behind a paywall. I think that's ridiculous. And I don't think that's very inclusive of them. Speaking of pride stuff, I think we really do need a gender overhaul. I know they gave us the pronoun system like last year. They also gave us like an updated attraction system. I think those are all really good steps. However, the game is still built on a binary gender system. You can't have an androgynous body type. You can only have a masculine or feminine frame. You can take steps to make it more androgynous, to have like a more gender neutral look, but there is no true androgynous sim in the game currently. You can give them, and this is what really got me, you can give a sim they them pronouns, but in the game, in the coding, they have to be their parents' son or daughter. They can't be their child. I know they said they're working on it, but it is something that needs to have priority, especially when, like, in the early 2000s, the Sims franchise was at the forefront of LGBTQ representation in video games. It was one of the first games where you could make yourself and have, like, your sim in a romantic relationship with a sim of the same gender. They should be pushing those boundaries that they always say that they're pushing, but they're not. And it's, you know, it's something that really matters to me. And I hope that someday in the future you can truly have a non-binary sim. This point is also going to be kind of divisive, but it goes along with the other one. In The Sims 4, you can't really have a polyamorous relationship, which I think is kind of ridiculous. In the game, there are built-in aspirations that are about cheating and about being like a serial romantic, like being in a bunch of different relationships at the same time. You can do all of these things, and I don't think that should change. Like, it's a part of the game. A lot of people play with those play styles and like the drama of it all, the cheating, the scandal, like all of that. I respect that. I understand that. However, I think it's kind of crazy that they don't give you the option to have a healthy polyamorous relationship instead. There are workarounds for this in the game. You can like make a club and have the club be your polycule. You can get, then this is another point, you can finish the serial romantic aspiration and earn the player trait, which makes it so that other Sims are not jealous of your Sim. But even that is like ridiculously stigmatizing. Ridiculously so, that is the only way to have all your Sims be in a polycule is if they're all players, right? So they don't get jealous of each other in those relationships. I don't think that that's right either. I think, you know, there's, and I've played this way before, and there was a, like, pop-up when I was cheating with one of the guys from Island Living, the handsome one that's one of your neighbors. I was flirting with him and getting his romance bar up, and once I got it to a certain point, this pop-up appeared, and it was like, in the dialogue tree, ask to leave spouse. Like, you can ask him to leave his wife for you. But you can't enter a dialogue with other Sims about, like, being in a healthy polyamorous relationship. I haven't seen anyone talk about this, but as someone who is in a polyamorous relationship, I think the representation is important, especially like portraying it in a healthy way instead of like the only way to be in a relationship with more than one sim is if you're cheating. The next point is something that I see a lot of people talk about. I think we need more hair colors and more eye colors. This is, you know, not going to beat the dead horse, but we need more, especially like the medium brown. As someone with medium brown hair, we need more medium brown hair color options. We need more of the darker brown hair color options. We need more of the vivid shades. As someone who likes to dye her hair from time to time, like we have one pink shade, we have one really ugly purple shade. I think we should have way more of those, right? Like a pretty pastel pink or like a peachy orange, or like more pastel hair colors, like a pretty pastel purple instead of the ugly one that we have. Like a deeper purple as well instead of just the light one. We should have a darker purple color. And if they're not going to give us a color wheel, which I really don't think they are at this point. They gave it to werewolves, they gave it to pets. I don't think they're going to give us a human sim color wheel. I think the skin color system that they have is great compared to what we had previously. I think that's awesome. I love that it's so customizable. I think that's amazing. I think it would be great to have something similar for hair. I don't think we will ever get that. Like, we're not ever going to be able to choose the roots of our hair and the streaks like we have been able to in previous games. And I think that's the thing I'm hung up on the most, is that, like, while the graphics are taking massive steps forward in The Sims 4, everything else is taking steps backwards, and that shouldn't be how video games work. On the topic of eye colors, this is one of the things that really pissed me off about werewolves. We didn't get gold eyes, like in the base game, as like an eye color. And that's one of the cliches that is in so many werewolf things, right? They have gold eyes, or like amber eyes, like mysterious, you know, magical eyes. We have purple eyes and we have red eyes, so I can give like my spellcasters purple eyes from day to day, and that's fine. And I can give my vampires red eyes, just like the normal ones, not the glowy ones, but you can give them glowy eyes too, which is fun. But we don't have gold eyes. Like, we didn't get that with werewolves. That really upsets me. And werewolves in general just upsets me, but that's a different video for a different day. I think, and Satch on Sims just talked about this, I think we need a trait system overhaul. They should be organized differently. But also, he brought up a really good point. He was talking about how, like, lactose intolerant and vegetarian are traits. They're just, like, kind of in there. They shouldn't be. I don't know why they are. It should be a separate category. I'm not saying to take that representation away, but I'm saying it should be a separate category. I think it should function in the way that, like, you know how you have lot traits and you have lot challenges? But you can have like 3 lot traits that are generally pretty good things, and then you can have lot challenges. And I'm not saying that this should be called like sim challenges, because that's, you know, very insensitive wording as someone with a food allergy myself. But I think there should be like an allergies and food restrictions section of the traits. They shouldn't count as one of the 3 traits, because, you know, if you're lactose intolerant, that's not a third of your personality. And I think it's kind of ridiculous that that's the way that it works now. How many times am I going to say ridiculous this video? But yeah, I think it's kind of crazy that that is the way that it works now, that 1/3 of your personality is lactose intolerant. God forbid if you're lactose intolerant and vegetarian, like, then you only get 1 trait that's like who you actually are and not what you can and can't eat. So I think it should be a separate section. Food allergies, food restrictions. Your Sims could be allergic to cats. They could be allergic to dogs. They could have seasonal allergies, and then you could integrate some of the other packs into that system as well. One of the traits I thought of, and EA, if you're listening, which you're not, but if you are, you can have this one for free, okay? You can take it from me. I would love to have this in the game. There should be a procrastinator trait. I don't know why there wasn't with college stuff. Discover University. I love that pack. It should be like, you know, if they get an assignment and then they start working on it immediately, they'd be like tense, they'd be uncomfortable, they'd be like, I don't want to do homework. And then like the day before it's due, they get this like spark, and they'd be either like inspired or focused or whatever applies to their area of study, and they just get it done like so fast, like at super speed. Because that's realistic to the college experience. As a former college student, that's what it was like. In general, I think there needs to be more representation. The three things I'm going to name are pretty surface level. I don't think they'd have to add any gameplay related to these. These are pretty much just like create a sim things. First one is vitiligo. There are so many mods for it, and I love that, but again, console players. Also, like, I know they can do skin overlays because we have them for the Star Wars pack, which I do own, unfortunately. I was expecting the aliens to be their own occult type, and it would be like, you'd click alien and it'd be like the normal sim alien, and then like all the Star Wars aliens branching off. It's not like that. They're all skin overlays. So we know they can do them, right? If my sim can be a Twi'lek, why can they not have vitiligo? I don't understand. Another thing is hearing aids. Hello, I am now editing the video, and this is what I get for filming so far in advance. They actually did just add hearing aids to the game, so love that. Manifesting, you know? The only thing is you can't have earrings and hearing aids on, so that's fun. They also added glucose monitors, they added binders, and they added top surgery scars, but again, like, the glucose monitors you can't put on if your sim has a tattoo on their arm, if you put it on the arm, because there's some for the hip and then there's some for the arm. And if you put it on the arm, you can't have a tattoo there. Also with the binders, they don't actually bind the chest, and with the top surgery scars, you can't put them on female sims at all. You can put it on a female frame if you have a male sim with a female frame. You can put the top surgery scars on them, but you cannot put it on any female identifying sim, which, as I said in the video, like, you can't have a non-binary sim because of the gendered binary gender system that they have in the game currently. So yeah, like, baby steps forward, good news, bad news, I guess. Like, I'm really glad we have all of these things, but I just wish they had been thought through a little better. So yeah, that concludes the update. Carry on with the video. Like, they could just be in casts. I don't think they'd have to be functional in the game, but I think it would be nice to have them. And again, there's mods for this, but console players can't use mods. Because we have earbuds, and we have, like, the one little earpiece, I think it's from Get Famous. And there's one that comes with the spy career. If you get high enough in the spy career, you get, like, a little earpiece. They already have the assets, right? I don't think it would be that hard to modify them, turn them into hearing aids, put them in the game. I think it would be easy enough for them to add, and I don't know why we're almost 10 years into this game without hearing aids. The other one is heterochromia. Again, the pets have this. I'm not sure if the werewolves do. I haven't played with them very much because they look like furries, and it just makes me really uncomfortable, so I don't play with the werewolves. This next one is the reason I did not buy High School Years. I think there need to be more extracurricular activities for the high schoolers, especially because it's rabbit hole stuff anyway. So I don't think it would be that hard for them to add it to the game. It only has 4 extracurricular activities for the teenagers: football, cheerleading, computer club, I think, and chess. There's no marching band? And I tweeted about this. If you follow my Twitter, I rant about The Sims sometimes. There's no marching band, there's no choir, there's no drama. You can technically do drama if you have Get Famous, but it's not part of the other one. So you can't have, like, a school play, you know, which is such a big part of high school. It sucks because, you know, they're so preachy about, like, oh, the arts matter, the arts matter. They make a high school expansion pack and they don't put arts in the high school. I think you can have an art class, but you can't have choir and you can't have marching band. At every high school football game there is a marching band and there is a halftime show. And the fact that you can't do that, you can't really even have football games at all, as far as I understand. It really feels half-assed. If you're going to make a whole expansion pack, I expect you to expand upon the game. This next one, I don't know if it bothers anyone else. Basically, in The Sims 4, the only way that your sim can burn calories is by working out. Like, they don't autonomously burn calories, and so because of this, anytime your sim eats at all, they will gain weight. There's no way to stop this unless you have them work out like every day. I wish there was an opt-in, opt-out. That's all I'm asking for. Because like with some Sims, I'm fine with letting their weight fluctuate. I don't care. But with other Sims, like when I'm playing with my Sim self, as someone who had body insecurity for a very long time, and still kind of does, it's hard to watch my Sim self have her weight fluctuate back and forth because she looks so much like me, and I associate her so heavily with myself, and it's just like, I just wish I could turn that off. And also, with the calorie system, a lot of the new foods, like the newer foods from newer packs, don't have any calories at all. So it's really inconsistent when you're trying to feed your Sim. I think there should be separate categories for face piercings and ear piercings, and this is because, like, if I'm making a Sim and I want to just give them a nose piercing, I have to scroll through all of the eyebrow piercings to get there. And if I'm making a Sim and I just want to give them their ears pierced, I have to scroll through all of the face piercings to get there. And I just think it would be easier if it was like you click piercings and then it opens up another little bubble menu, and it would be like eyebrows, nose piercings, lip piercings, cartilage piercings, lobe piercings. I don't think we have cartilage piercings unless it's with the lobe. That should be a thing too. Zodiac signs. I don't know why we don't have them, especially because astrology is huge right now. We had them in previous games, and I just think it would be really fun to, like, in Create a Sim when you're making your Sim, like, assign them a big 3 and move on. I don't think it would have to affect your gameplay in a super huge way, like maybe it would influence your personality a little bit. But it would be cool to have the zodiac signs back. It wouldn't count as one of the traits because, again, we have so few slots already, but I think it would be fun to add, like, another layer to your Sim as a person. And then, like, if you have Sims that are born during the game, like that, you know, you're playing a family, they have a baby, then when they're born, if you have seasons, I guess, would, like, influence what their zodiac sign is. I think that would be really cool. And then the last one, this is a really big one. I don't think we're gonna get it. Full disclosure, I really don't think we are. Prove me wrong. I want preteens, and it's mostly just because, like, our teenagers feel so little like teenagers. Like, they're just young adult juniors. They're the same size as the young adults. They wear all the same clothes. They have all the same traits. Like, they are basically the same. They don't feel like teenagers, and maybe this is just because I don't have high school years, but that should not determine whether or not an entire, like, age group feels like the age group it's supposed to be. And also, like, you know, we have the kids that look like they're 10 or 11, and then we have the teenagers who look like they're 17 pushing 18. I feel like we need, like, a 13, 14-year-old. And then the 17-year-old, and then the young adult. Again, there's mods for this. There's so many mods for this. You know, they have preteens, they have their own height, like, they go through puberty, they have all of this stuff. I think it would be fun if, like, the girls were obsessed with boy bands, and, like, we're gossiping about crushes, and doing each other's nails. Like, that would be so cute. And we don't have that. And then, EA, hear me out, if you give us preteens, you could give us preteen kits. I was gonna say stuff packs, but I know you're not gonna do that. You could give us preteen kits with preteen clothes and stuff, and preteen room kit. And I'm trying not to encourage the kits because, again, I hate them. But if that's what it takes to get the preteens, I'll take it, man. I will take it. I will buy the kits for the preteens. But yeah, that's my list. The other thing I want is imaginary friends. I didn't even put this in the script. I want imaginary friends. I never played The Sims 3, but I know of them. And I know that, like, you can turn them into a real person. And I want that for gameplay reasons. I think it would be really fun. I know some people are creeped out by it. I get it. It's a little creepy, especially, like, looking at the doll. Like, what it looks like as a doll and the doll person. But I think it's really cool, and I know we may or may not be getting Generations soon. So that could be taken care of then. Yeah, I didn't think I had this much to say about the game. I was like, oh, I'll make a little Sims video, and then I sat down and I started typing, and it's like 2,500 words, this script that I have. Like, I'm trying to be optimistic, and it's a game that I love, and it's a game that I've put a lot of money and time and effort into. 1,300 hours of my life, which is like 50 days or something like that. I just really wish that it were better, and I really wish that, you know, EA cared a little bit more about the product they were putting out instead of just kit, 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 kit. And I hope things get better. Fingers crossed for The Sims 5. I think it really helps that they have Paralives kind of lighting a fire under their asses. Like, hey, make a good game where people are going to play this instead when it comes out. And I hope that Paralives is great. It looks really promising. That team seems like they know what they're doing and they seem pretty passionate about it. I plan to post gameplay of The Sims on my channel at some point. I just wanted to address these things, you know, so you know that I know that it's not a perfect game and that there are things that could definitely be improved upon. And there are so many other things like gameplay glitches, etc., but these are just like kind of my surface level nitpick. Take your meds, drink your water. I'll see you soon. I hope.